Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sports Line at Duke's Rib House and Grill, 1910 Cochrane Road, Pittsburgh, PA 15220. It's at the bottom of Green Tree Road, in case you didn't notice. Thanks for everybody watching us on Verizon 32. We appreciate it. Also on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. And just so you're not confused, this is not radio, it's TV. You can see us on TV in the greater Pittsburgh area, from Nemacolin up to Cranberry and Wexford. And we're out of the Bethel Park studio. Now I want to thank everybody. We hit a new high on our Facebook page, 3,646 likes. So thank you for all the likes. You know the drill. You like us first, and we'll like whatever you have out there within reason. Although just ask Smokin' Jim, he likes everything. It doesn't matter. Give him a like. And we have a great bunch of guests coming here, and we're going to start with what's on our mind. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. This is Smokin' Jim Frazier. And our other co-host from Tuesday night, Little Z, Zach Brenner's in the back. We'll bring him up at the end. We're going to... Smokin' Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Hey, thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. And if you want the green,
hold it.
You got to see Levine.
Thanks, buddy.
Big hand for international master photographer Bill Boyce and his beautiful models in the house. We got international model Sindel Barnes in the house. I got a taste for a Big Mouth burger. Speaking of Big Mouths, how about RG3? Only thing RG3 can throw is his teammates under the bus. RG3 got one of the worst quarterback ratings in the National Football League. RG3's the only quarterback in the league that can overthrow Castro. I don't think RG3 got any heart, because every time he get hit, he lays on the field so long, he looks like a snow angel. Listen, former Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry passed away yesterday, and RG3, who I call RG Me, is the cancer in the Washington Redskins locker room that's killing the entire organization.
Are you done? I couldn't hear. Thanks, Smokin' Jim. I know that RG Me is much better than that 8-8. They won't be great. So, speaking of Steelers, they're 7-4 at the bye week. Everybody in Pittsburgh's happy because, like I've coined the phrase, the schizophrenic Steeler fans, you start winning a game, you're going to the Super Bowl. You lose a game, fire everybody. Right now, they set a record on Monday night. Who knows, with an offensive line that you only have 2 guys blocking, the rest are tackling and everything else on the offensive line. You set a record on Monday night. Franco never did it. Le'Veon Bell, 204 yards on a Monday night football game? Steeler record. That's just awesome. Well, that's what's on my mind. Wait, Penguins are winning 1-0 in Boston. When you see this tomorrow, hopefully they win. So we need it. 2 losses in a row. Guys are complaining we don't talk enough Penguins. Well, there's your Penguin talk for now. We're going to start bringing up our guests. And our first guest, I'm sure if you're in Pittsburgh for even a couple days, you've heard of this gentleman. We're going to bring him up right now.
Well, my name is Johnny Angel of Johnny Angel and the Halos. Thank you very much. And I met Alan through our music and our music program, and we've become friends on Facebook. And, of course, I'm here to hear the Talking Machine and talk with the Talking Machine.
And this is one of the few guys, well, there's a couple, that can out-talk me. He can definitely out-sing me. And I'm on his Soul Patrol, and I'm going to do a little shameless promotion and break my rule and do it first. Go online. He's not on the radio on your dial. He's on the computer, internet radio. Go to carolinabreeze.com, 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock every Sunday night. And you tell them what the show is.
Well, it's I do a lot of interviews of people I've worked with over the years, people like Chuck Jackson and Eddie Holman and I just did an interview with the Iceman, Mr. Jerry
Yeah.
Butler, and some other. But I play all music from the 60s and a little bit of the 70s, all soul music. I flash back and do some rhythm and blues and some doo-wop. But it's a fun Pittsburgh show. And again, it's www.thecarolinabreeze.com. Just click on the Johnny Angel icon.
There you go. That's part of it. Now, I always ask people what their name is. Do they have a favorite sport? He named about 10 sports and a few that he participated in. It's you pick whatever you want right now, Jack. Go ahead.
Yeah, my real name's Jack, by the way.
I'm not making fun of him. They told me. And I met him with Jessica Lee when we do networking and music.
Yeah.
So a little shout out to her. She's doing stuff at your Atria's place, and
What a
we'll talk
great lady.
about that.
Absolutely.
Definitely brought us together. More knuckleheads talking sports. Just what you need in Pittsburgh. Go ahead, Jack.
Well,
tell me something.
I love a bunch of sports. I started as a baseball player. I boxed a little bit. I did some kickboxing. I did football, a lot of softball as I got older. I played senior baseball till I was 52.
Wow.
And then my knees went south. You know what that's all about, right?
Yeah.
And I trained a lot of young people in gym and things like that. But I love sports. Sports and music. What else is there?
Sports, music, entertainment. Isn't that the same?
That's the truth,
It
man.
really is. What's your favorite sport? Do you have one?
Yeah.
If you had a pick.
I think when it all comes down to it, I still like baseball the best. But as far as what I like doing the best was
Right.
boxing. I love to box.
Well, tell me a little bit about your boxing career. Where was the gym that you fought out of? Could you tell me that? I know
yeah.
you're a North Side boy.
I'm a
right?
North Side kid. Born in Manchester, grew up in the Woods Run section of North Side. Still live on the North Side. And I actually boxed for the Settlement House in Manchester. But I started my boxing career when a Pittsburgh police officer from the YMCA got me started, my buddy Marty Joyce. And I was one of them smart kids that thought I could conquer the world. And
In the street.
In the street, and he brought me back to reality, man. He's like,
Nice. How old were you?
I think I was 11 or 12 at the time.
Wow.
But, and had a paper route, and I was getting into some trouble. And my dad sent me to the Y, and Marty straightened me right out.
Nice. Well, not to talk about some guys that I know, but from the Pittsburgh Press and Post-Gazette, not only does he know the ex-owner of Sip Sports Bar, Mark, because he knows those guys, but two of my best friends that were pressmen, Sonny Shannon, God bless him, he passed away.
Yepper.
And Pat Shannon, one of my boys from the Pittsburgh Press.
Absolutely.
When I mentioned those names, he goes, we fought together, we hung out together. I go, this is Pittsburgh. 1 degree of separation.
That's
and you can
exactly
steal
right.
my line. It's not 2 degrees. It's 1 in Pittsburgh. You get to do this because maybe you have another place called some Ginchi stuff. What is that?
Yeah, I started this really neat store. I kind of retired from the day-to-day operations of our restaurants. I'm one of the partners in Atria's and Ditka's restaurants. And about six months ago, I opened a little store in the Brighton Heights. It's called Johnny Angel's Ginchi Stuff. And it's all collectible, sports memorabilia, rock and roll memorabilia, autographs, toys and games from the 50s and 60s. And that's where I spend my days. And at night, I sing a lot. I sing and play a lot.
We're not going to ask you to sing tonight, okay?
No, the idea is to get people to watch, not to turn it off.
I like your style. That's why I call in on the Soul Patrol every Sunday night just to hear that voice. He'll answer the phone. Definitely. Tell him your phone number.
Yeah, if you want to call down to Ginchi Stuff on Sunday nights, my show is 7 to 10 o'clock. You can call in at 412-766-1846, or you can send me an email blast at jaginchistuff@AOL.com. And it's Ginchi, by the way, as a word, means
Tell
cool.
him.
It's
Yeah.
cool, man. It's like Ginchi was an old thing that I don't know if you remember 77 Sunset Strip,
Yeah, I
Ned
do.
Burns,
Yeah.
and he used to say, "Man, check out the Ginchi chick," and that's what that means—a cool chick, cool person, cool. But it's Ginchi, Ginchy.
And see, there's that voice coming out. He's getting into that Soul Patrol voice. I can't wait. He has a classical voice, and he's doing all this stuff. Last night he gave a shout out and played a song for me. After I didn't know this, that Jimi Hendrix wrote some soul songs.
Oh yeah.
And I knew he was a great guitar player in many different genres.
No doubt about
But
it.
I didn't hear any soul like that. He played 2 in a row, and then I hear him doing a shout out to me, and I'm going to play a song for Al Levine, the Talking Machine. I'm like, what? I was on the phone with somebody because I'm listening to the background. My daughter goes, Dad, what are you listening to? I go, this is Johnny Angel and the Halos, and I'm on the Soul Patrol.
Well, the best part about that was when you called, I was talking live, and the phone's ringing, and I went, somebody's calling me while I'm talking here, and I said, stick on it. And he hung up and called right back. I just loved it, man. It was like
I know what it's like with live TV. That's how we do the show. This gentleman does not swear on air or anything, so I know we can just run it, let it rip.
Absolutely.
And that's what we do. Smoking Jim, what do you think of Jack here?
Well, I tell you what, this guy is a Pittsburgh icon.
Thank you.
You know what? I'm learning so much more and more about music because Al Levine, the Talking Machine, knows more about black people than anybody that I know. But yeah, I tell you what, if you grew up on the North Side, I know you were a tough kid because everybody on the North Side is tough. Yeah.
You know, I'm glad you said that because the Soul Pit magazine just did an article on me. And, and
Donna Baxter.
Yeah, and I have a
Guess who's
dear
going to
friend.
be our guest at your restaurant?
Who's that?
Donna Baxter.
Oh, I love
I
it.
just saw her
She's a
networking
baby doll,
event,
man.
and I dropped your name like a hot potato, and she goes, "I love him." How about that?
Yeah, it's really cool. Because when you talk about the black culture, right? All my heroes growing up, especially in music, were black. You know, and when white music was played, it was like you had to listen to that Pat Boone and all that stuff. You know, yeah. But then you would sneak and you'd put on some of the stations that played the devil's music, and you heard the rhythm and blues, the heart. You know, and so all my heroes were black artists. So I collected so much stuff over my career. And it's kind of neat because young people will come in and they'll say, "Did you ever meet the Del Vikings?" And I'll say, "Yeah, I worked with them." Well, my uncle was in the Del Vikings.
Wow.
And then I'll pull out a piece of memorabilia that I have and show them or give it to them.
Vinyl?
I have tons of vinyl.
He was telling me about vinyl, the records. Nobody has that anymore. You got these little discs they're throwing around, and MP3s and XYZs.
But you know, she did a nice story about. I told her how my friendship was with James Brown.
Wow.
No, oh yeah, I mean...
You're blowing him away. Wait till he listens to you on thecarolinabreeze.com. Everybody knows www, but the
That's
Carolina
right.
Breeze.
The Carolina Breeze,
Yeah.
that's right. But I had the pleasure of interviewing James Brown when I worked with him at Three Rivers Stadium, right?
Wow.
And he wasn't given many interviews at the time, and he was gracious enough to give one to me. And while we were talking, I had a couple records. They were EPs of James Brown live at the Apollo. And he signed them for me, and he said, "Where'd you get these?" And I said, "I collect them." And he said, "I don't have one of these." So
I like the voice too.
So after my interview with him, I went home and I sent a copy to him, right?
Wow.
And a couple of days later, I was on the road playing, and my wife calls me up, and she goes, "Oh, I think I got us in trouble." I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "Some guy called, and he was imitating James Brown, and he was getting on my nerves." I said, "Look, one of Jack's friends, this is ridiculous," and she hung up on him, right?
Oh.
So about 10 minutes later, his daughter calls back and said, "Is this Johnny Angel's house?" And she said, "Yeah." And my wife said, "Oh my God, is that your dad?" Just called. She said, "Yep." He was just calling to thank Johnny for sending him that record.
You don't hear stories like this every day. James Brown.
And then he started sending me Christmas cards, which I treasure, man. I got
Wow. That's really special.
He was a great man, and just loved him. You talk about an influence in music.
Oh, a whole generation and more. Today even.
Amen.
No, that is awesome.
Yep, and then I worked a lot with, my favorite group was the Temptations, of course.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Get on.
And when they did the movie in Pittsburgh, I helped them find locations.
Did you?
So I have the original script of the Temptations movie signed to me by Otis Williams, and I sang with them at Star Lake, man.
Wow.
We got to have you back on another show. We're going to do the Johnny Angel Hour.
Hey, I'm trying to break out of my shell, you know what I mean? It's
You know what?
I'll overcome this
You
shyness,
have a
brother.
chance. I'm not a betting man, but I think you have a chance. And you notice I let you roll.
You did, brother. Thank you.
I didn't interrupt you. Well, a little bit. Definitely. Anything else you want to close out with here? Or?
I just want to say I appreciate our friendship, and I love what you're doing, man. It's really a cool thing. And I got to meet Smoking Jim. I've only seen him in picture, man. Never really got to meet him, so this is kind of cool. And I love what your happening thing, and I wish you all the success in the world, brother.
Thank you. You see, we're not a regular sports talk show.
Obviously, we haven't talked about sports here.
Hold it. You're a boxer. You're a tough kid. You like baseball? Well, I got to bring you back.
No, we're good,
But
man.
I like to dish it out because I was always taught it's better to give than to receive. But in your
Amen.
case, I'll take it. Shaq.
Thank you, Alan.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Smoking Jim.
Meet you, sir.
Hey everybody, my name's Steve USS Cunningham, former two-time world champion, current USBA heavyweight champion. And this is my daughter, Kennedy.
Hi.
We appreciate you coming here. It was a pleasure meeting you at the fight, and we were at the Sammy Vasquez fight and the Rod Salka fight, and we met afterwards, and we have photographer Sean Eisler here who took that great photo of us three.
Yep.
He's going to try to get another shot with us, but we got Smoking Jim in here too. And I was just shocked to hear about a child that wasn't even expected to live, and now she's like 9 years old. So I mean, this is just fantastic. You know, I have two children. This touches my heart when you see that. Somebody, you know, is beautiful and is smart and active. How can this even happen? And she's already gone through has two heart transplants.
2 open heart surgeries.
Open heart surgery. So now she has to get a transplant.
Yeah, yep.
And at 9 years old, I can't, it's beyond my comprehension.
You know, she was born with the heart disease called hypoplastic left heart syndrome, where the left side of her heart was underdeveloped.
I've read about it because of that now.
Yeah, exactly. So we've been dealing with this since day one. You know, there's normally 3 corrective surgeries that fix the problem, and she can go on to live a normal, sort of normal life, not athletic life, but a sort of normal life. And she did the 2 surgeries by the time she was 2. And she spent the first year of her life in the hospital. So we basically, as a family, we only had little Steve at the time. So
weren't you from Philadelphia?
Yeah, we're in Philly. Yep.
We don't hold that against you. We're making an exception today with Pittsburgh. Just so you know, I'm not an ugly Steeler fan.
All right.
And you got Shady McCoy with you, so I'm okay with that. All right.
We're thinking of making this a permanent home. It's so.
I knew we could do it. Have some more water. It'll help.
Where you staying at now?
We're in Monroeville.
God's country!
Steve, I have to tell you that's a setup. Because guess where Smoking Jim lives?
Oh, man, he's in Monroeville.
Yeah, and he's been telling us, I'm not going to say it because I can't hear in that left ear anymore. We hear it all the time. But if you want to live here and you're going to live in Monroeville, I can understand that. A lot of good people, except for Smoking Jim, live there. And it's understandable.
That's cool.
No, I'm just glad we have the health facilities, the hospitals, the doctors that can do this type of stuff. Now, we're here to try to help you and get the word out.
Oh, that's great.
And I wanted Kennedy at least just to introduce herself. Can you say hi? Because you got a lot of fans out there.
A lot. More than me.
There it is.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, buddy.
She's singing her brains out.
Was she?
Now she's shy.
All right. Well, she's allowed. I was actually shy when I was growing up. And luckily, my barber was here from when I was a kid. Smoking Jim, what did he say?
I didn't believe none of it. His barber told a little white lie. Said Al Levine was quiet when he was a kid.
That's true. That's true. But we'll continue this. How do we help, donate, etc.? You know, you have a site.
Yeah, we have a website. We have a fund called Heart by Faith Fund. So you go to the site www.heartbyfaith.com.
Now you talk a little faster than I do at times, so you're gonna have to repeat that because this will be broadcast. So I'm just gonna tell them this is the site you go to, and it's easy to go.
www.heartbyfaith.com. Easy to check it out, or you can either.
And I posted it on Pittsburgh Sportsline.
Okay, cool.
So they can go click on that and see it.
Yep.
And then I wanted to at least bring this out. The reason I met you guys is there's this crazy guy running around like a nut, selling these like crazy.
My man.
There's Mike Tyson. There's all the fighters. There's controversy. There's ring card girls, men and women, no cats and dogs, and he has this great scarf.
Yeah. We, you know, these are scarves. Basically, we use the scarf. You know, the other side has USS Cunningham on it, so we use the scarves for our fans. You know, at the fights. We got this from our European fan base. You know, I fought in Europe for a few years.
I know.
So we got that from the Europeans.
How
you know,
about that? It's a BOGO. Like in Pittsburgh, we like our BOGOs. Buy one, get one. This is a definite BOGO. You're going to go far in Pittsburgh. You know that.
Man, I hope so.
Definitely. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And anybody that's on the show, tell them Smoking Jim what they get when they're here. Good.
Karma. Hey,
We have
listen,
more champions that have been on here. Rod Solka, Sammy Vasquez.
Okay.
I guarantee you one thing. My favorite fighter of all time is Evander Holyfield. This guy is the greatest fighter since Evander Holyfield.
Wow.
Two-time cruiserweight world champion. I tell you what, he's a heavyweight champion now. His last fight, he fought a guy 75 pounds bigger than him and knocked him out. You got to get behind USS Cunningham.
I saw the video.
USS.
Hey, one thing I want to do is I want to bring your family up here.
Oh, cool.
You got a beautiful family, and they've been quiet. So anytime you got 3 boys and a wife that are quiet, we're bringing. Oh, did I say that? Sorry. Come on out.
Hey, USS, one of your sons is a champion too, right?
Yeah, I train my son and my nephew and my 3-year-old. He
All
trains
right.
also, so
got
it's
it.
a boxing family.
Come on up. You
Got a
guys
lot
can
of
stand in
champions
front of
right
me.
here.
Oh, he's got an Eagles shirt on.
That's all right. Put them right in front. No, get in front. You stand in front. This will be on TV. Put those good smiles. What's the little guy's name?
Cruz.
Cruz. Look at that camera.
Tornadoing him.
Future Gateway Gators right here.
So they're all amateur boxers.
They'll fit right in
No
in
doubt.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no doubt.
Definitely.
We're trying to find
I can
out
see
the
it
amateur.
happening.
Yeah.
You
Trying
just
to get
stick.
him a fight here.
Well, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, yes.
How old is he?
Steve's turning 12 next week. Bernard is 10. And
What weight class?
they go by
many
what
pounds?
weight class? Steve's 90, 95 pounds.
Okay.
Right now. Bernard's 80, 85 pounds.
Well, they look in great shape.
Yeah, we
And you're
just did a
feeding
run.
them.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Are you?
Feeding them and training. We just did a nice run today up one of these beautiful Pittsburgh hills.
Aren't they nice?
Yeah,
Not like
I love it.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You only got these little
Yeah,
10-foot hills.
Pittsburgh is
And
sort
climb
of
the
like
steps.
Manayunk. You know, Manayunk's got a lot of hills, but it's a small part of Philly. But this is like a huge Manayunk.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah, it doesn't stop.
You got to run up some of the hills going to Mount Washington there.
Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah,
try.
you got to try, and then around Pitt, they call this one hill Cardiac Hill. Up near the Peterson Center. Start down at the bottom on 5th Avenue and just run up.
Okay.
And when you run around Monroeville, the great neighbors of Monroeville come out and hand you some bottled water as you
Don't
go.
drink the water, please. I want to see you back on the show again, and you keep us updated.
Yes,
Kennedy,
we will.
good luck to you. High five. How about down low? Way to go. See, I'm not like those parents. I'm not like those parents. Way to go. One more time. All right. And good luck to you. Livy,
right,
it's a
man.
pleasure.
Thank
Steve,
Appreciate it.
you take care.
Yes, sir.
Well, why don't you say that? We do shameless promotions. All
When's the
right,
fight?
clear the whole family out. We're going to talk boxing 1 minute. Come on.
Well, you know, we just got a victory October 18th against Natu Vasinia. I think I'm rated, I think it's number 6 in the IBF. So the IBF is mandating that me and the number 2 guy fight for the number 1 spot, which is
Is it vacant?
Glasscoff. Yes, the number 1 spot is vacant. So I will be fighting Glasscoff early next year, possibly late January or February, for the number 1 spot to fight.
Will you
Vladimir.
come back before the fight a couple weeks if
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
on
yeah,
a
no
Monday
doubt.
night?
Yeah, yeah, let
We'll
me
get
know.
updates on Kennedy and your young boxing
Yeah,
camp.
yeah, yeah.
Since you got the Cunningham boxing
Yeah.
camp now in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I want to give a big shout out to my man Victor.
Thank
he
you.
did his great job with promoting the scarves and just getting us, you know, getting some funds into the fund, you know, for us, for
Right.
the family, for Kennedy, and much respect. Salute.
All right, Victor.
And $20. $20 for these scarves. Guess what? It's getting cold this week too.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
All right.
I tell you what, I can't believe I got my mentor here in the house. This is a guy, not only did he grow up as a great athlete in Oakland, used to play in a park called Frazier Park with a guy named Dan Marino. All-world basketball player, all-world baseball player, had a tryout with the Pirates, went and got his degree in engineering, one of the top engineering guys around. Please put your hands together for the City of Pittsburgh Hall of Famer, Rock Robinson.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You know, one of my second questions are, do you like sports?
No.
Okay. Third one is, since you don't, do you have a favorite team?
No.
Okay. Now we'll talk sports. We got that out of the way. Smoking Jim never lets facts get in the way of a good argument and opinions either. So go ahead.
I love sports. My favorite,
Here, how about you look more comfortable holding that mic? This will be broadcast on Verizon 32 everywhere in Pittsburgh, and it'll be on Facebook, our page, and archived on YouTube. So
Okay.
let it go.
I love sports. My favorite sports team is anything Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Pittsburgh
That made it
Pirates,
easy.
Pittsburgh Penguins.
We got Penguins on.
Pitt.
Oh, no, Boston's beating them 2-1.
That happens. Can't win every game, even
just
though you lost two in a row.
Okay. You sound like stereo.
Let's talk at the same time then.
No, I'll concede to you. What's this baseball stuff you like to talk about?
Well, I was born on the hill.
So was I, 105 Pride Street.
That's too close to the Civic Arena, though. You weren't really on the hill.
It's underneath Mercy Hospital right now.
Yeah, I know.
They called it that.
Not close enough to the hill.
All right, give me a street.
Try Mahon Street.
That's deep.
That's deep.
You're deep into
Center
that.
Avenue. Aleo Wild School. That's where I grew up. That's
Well, I only
Deep
lived there
Hill.
1 year.
That
my dad's
that
family-
qualifies you
But
because
my
Jim
dad's
said
family lived
they
there
thought
about
you were
50
black.
years. I'm fading fast. The sun's gone.
But then I moved to Oakland when I was 13.
I moved there when I was 2 and lived a year there.
How about Monroeville? You ever live in Monroeville?
I don't even know where it's at. Where could Monroeville be? But I know where Green Tree is, and now I'm in Bethel Park.
Well, I got 20 years in Monroeville.
God bless you. I'll pray for you later tonight.
Yeah. I just kept moving east.
You're a smart man. I could see that.
Yeah,
Smoking Jim, I think we got a winner here, an engineer and a sports guy. I'm in trouble. I'm on the ropes right now.
But I don't know many facts. I don't remember facts. I just remember playing the game.
What position?
I played short, second, and anything.
I just asked for one. This guy can't answer simply. I'm kidding.
My main position was second base.
That's
Next
good.
question.
Could you hit, or were you like Bill Mazeroski? You only hit a game-winning World Series home run.
No, I averaged over 400 on every level I played.
Wow.
I hit with power.
Let's
ran with
explain that
speed.
to Smoking Jim. That means he hit 4 out of 10 times. Guys get in the Hall of Fame for hitting 3 out of 10. So he's a superstar.
Wow.
He's a legend. He's another Pittsburgh icon.
Well, that's what Jim calls me.
Yeah, but he didn't know the facts.
Yes, he does. Jim knows his facts.
Oh, he's been lying to me for years.
I read his book.
Now that's a lie. He had another friend of yours here that I had to read the book, so I give him the cliff notes. I tell him what happened. It began, it was a great story in the middle, and it ended. So
That's
now it's
good.
good. Like most of them.
Well, you don't have to actually, as long as you can obtain the information, you don't have to read it yourself.
I love reading books.
That's good.
I'm unusual like that.
Would you like to purchase my book?
I'd like to read it.
That wasn't the question.
How can we get your book? Why do you think I'm the talking machine? Where can we get this book, and what's the title of this book?
The title of my book is From the Ghetto to the Green,
From the Ghetto to the Green.
which is a book dedicated to my mother, who was a single mom, raised 8 kids,
That's awesome.
and 8 of us turned out okay.
Nice.
So it's dedicated to
Where
my
do they
mother.
get the book? Do you just carry them around with you, or?
I do that pretty much. I'm self-publishing
Well,
right now.
friends of mine have done that. We had, what did we have? Robert Burns on,
Yeah.
and he just Burnett. He just did his self-published book all the way down. A friend of mine won a book. Joanne Forrester, who's been on our show, a businesswoman. She wrote a children's book. So, The Gift of Holiday Valley, self-published. So I'm not opposed to self-publishing. Can you tell me any baseball stories that you were in? Like one game. Like maybe a game that you hit 500 or 600.
in a game.
Yeah, because
I've hit 1,000 in a game.
there, I knew I could prompt them.
That would be 5
I
for
played
5 or-
baseball. I was a pitcher. So I like the challenges trying to strike you out.
So you never bat?
Oh, I
obviously.
batted.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
All right, when did you hit 5 for 5?
I can remember a game when I was playing for CCAC Junior College, and we played a team down in Maryland, and I was playing at that time both shortstop and second. This particular game, it was a doubleheader. I played second base, and they were trying to challenge my manhood as well as a player. Instead of coming in sliding like you typically do in the base path,
Right.
these guys were bigger than me, but they were running straight to try and run me over.
How'd that work out for him?
Not well. One guy got hit with a ball that nipped his ear. Another guy just nipped his helmet. And another guy got about 15 feet from the first base and went nose down into the ground, trying to break up a double play.
Wow.
And then when I came in, I had the opportunity to break up a double play. I came in with the same type of aggression, breaking it up, and I actually sliced a guy's ear with my spike.
Wow.
At the end of the game, when it was all said and done, they came up and shook my hand and said I was a hell of a baseball player because they were trying to intimidate me. Suffice it to say, I was the only black on my team.
Wow. Down in Maryland, that I understand that.
Yeah. That was a game I remember.
How many hits did you have?
I had 6 out of 7 hits that game.
Wow. I think you were intimidating.
It was a double hitter. I batted 6 for 7 those 2 games.
Wow.
And
That's a great story.
Real quick, I know we're pressed for time.
No,
but
we can chat a little bit with anybody that's bringing out stuff like this and trying to hustle a book.
Well, we do a lot. We do some things with golf. Rock, tell us about some of the things that you do with
golf,
your golf
too.
organization.
Yeah, I'm actually a golf teaching professional. I've been certified since 2000.
Well, I can tell you were certified. I know that. Go ahead. Tell about golf now.
Jim, you have a way of just stopping somebody right in their tracks.
Yeah, that's the machine.
Why do you think I get one more word in than you do? Or you'd beat me too. Having 2 guests that could beat me, that's ridiculous.
But I have a golf program that's been around. We'll be celebrating our 20th year this year. And we're actually having a 20-year reunion at Oakmont Country Club.
Congratulations.
Where we'll be bringing in kids from, they may have been 18 now they're 28.
Wow.
So we got kids to see how they're doing, what they're doing,
That is great.
and things of that nature.
You seem like a mentor also, because you let me interrupt you on this interview a few times, and you're a very patient man, I could see.
I'm extremely patient. So
I just don't want to go on the field when you're wearing spikes. Golf spikes or baseball spikes, because I know they'll be sharp.
well, as long as you're not trying to break up a double play, you're good.
Not on a golf course, because I don't golf.
That's good.
And I'm too slow on baseball, so I'm not coming in high on you.
Plus, you were a pitcher, so you probably wouldn't get on base, so that would
Every once in a while I did.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But after I'd strike you out a couple times, you could get your hit then. That's okay. 1 out of 3's not bad.
2 out of 4.
1 out of 3's not bad. That's all good fun. That's what competition is. That's why it's nice bringing up sports people here that can talk sports and other things.
Yeah.
And then what kind of career? You were an engineer also?
By definition, I went 7 years a night to get my mechanical engineering degree.
Wow.
I've been working for a company called Bechtel for...
You know what? They're a big company.
It'll be 38 years in January.
Wow.
You started when you were 8. I can't believe that.
Not quite 8.
That's some digits in front of that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't pretend like I'm that young. It's good to be old.
Is it?
It is.
Do you travel the world with Bechtel?
Not with Bechtel, but I travel the world.
Do you?
Yes. In a couple weeks, I'll be in Florida. The week after, I'll be in Culver, St. Lucas.
What are you doing?
Wow.
Selling books.
I'll be traveling, enjoying my life.
That is even better.
Yes.
I like that. This is part of my shameless promotions here. So you don't have to peddle a book. You can sell as many as you want, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm honored to be able to try to help you with that. Thank you.
And I thank you because I'm taking some of the proceeds from the book and giving it to my junior golf program.
Now you got me even more pumped up. I don't know how you could get me to another level. You're an inspirational speaker. I could tell that.
Yeah. Well, probably if you gave me $18, probably I'd be more inspirational.
Hold it. Wait, they know me too well. There ain't nothing coming out of there. Wait a second. Get him some water. Somebody get him a drink. Get him water. He got to go. He's embarrassing me. Nah, not yet. Many have tried.
Not only did I read this, but I read his first book too.
Wow. It's a big one, Elizabeth.
I never want to question the honesty of any of my co-hosts. I'm just going to believe that. I thought they were cheering on his honesty. Go Penguins. Brock, I appreciate this, and thanks for putting up with me. Hope you had some fun.
I have.
And I wish you all the best in all your travels and with the book.
And it's been my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My mentor.
Thank you, Jim.
We are so lucky to have one of the top 10 most beautiful women in the world winning everything. She is our Mike Tyson's #1 ring card girl. She's a model all over the world, international model. Big hand for Sindel Barnes. Woo!
Hi guys.
Hi, Sindel. Welcome back to the show.
Hello.
Get a photo now. Thanks for making it out to Duke's Rib House and Grill.
I know this is super close for me, so
Is it?
it's right down the street.
Wow. We're only here twice a month, though.
That's all right. That's all right.
Okay? Second and fourth week.
It's okay. I can make it then. It's close.
Nice.
Super close.
Oh, good. Glad we could help you out here.
You know.
Hey, it was nice seeing you at the fights.
Yeah, I had a great time. This is the second time I worked for Mr. Tyson, so it was really fun, and I actually got to meet them at the fight, and I didn't get to purchase one of their scarves then, because ring girls don't really carry much on them. So
I know,
did
you guys
tonight,
couldn't
so-
even put your business card anywhere.
Love
No.
the outfits though.
Yeah, they were definitely different from the last one. So these ones were actually Iron Mike's individual designs. So I'm hoping that they stay the same. I really like them as well. I'm a big fan of red and black, so it
My
works
favorite
well for
colors,
me.
too. Yeah.
I'm glad your friend's on the show. Somebody else was wearing black and gold. Those are my favorite colors.
You know, it's whatever pretty much anybody's wearing, I think, at that point.
With
So,
Smoking Jim?
Yeah.
You think he's like that?
Not all the time.
Okay.
Not all the time.
Because he seems sincere to me.
He is. He
But
is.
you
He's a
see
good guy.
through that, don't you?
Sometimes.
Oh,
Sometimes,
okay.
You know.
Because you've been friends
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
Now, did you have fun at the fights? Because what's a ring card girl go through when you see, like, there was a bloodbath with the Rod Salka and Monty Meza Clay fight?
That was a hard fight for me. So I don't know, a lot of people don't know, but I've been ring girling for about 5 years. So I've done a lot of Monty's fights. This is the first fight I actually got to ring card for Rod. I've seen his fights a lot, so I was very hesitant about the fight in general. I wasn't sure who was going to win or who was going to lose, but I was both like very into that fight. I was sitting there, me and my friend are grabbing each other's hands like this. We're like, oh my God. We're just sitting there having this panic attack, and we're supposed to be like, you know,
Non-plus.
Yeah, just, and we're sitting there, we're like, come on, like, fight, like, we're just yelling and screaming.
Well,
and
think
everybody's
how hard
staring
it
at
was
us,
for
so.
Smoking Jim and I. They're both of our friends, too.
Yeah, so that's another thing is that we're both, you know, in Pittsburgh, you get to know all these people and become friends with them. So it's really hard whenever you have two friends fighting. You're like cheering for them both at the same time, and to see how close they were when they rang out that score was just, I was like, I just couldn't believe how close it was. It was close though. For me, I thought so.
It wasn't that close.
I was going to correct you, but you're a guest on our show.
You know,
We won every round on my court.
I had
for
it as a
me-
draw. I had it as a draw.
For me, though, I mean, as far as legitimately actually scoring, I thought it was a pretty close fight. Yes, technically one person won the rounds, but to me, I was very.
Well, you know yourself, it's a little tough when you have young kids because you don't want them to lose. So you have that mindset as a young mother. that it'll hurt them if they lose. But boxing is brutal. You win a round or you lose a round. I saw Rod win every round, is what I saw. Because boxing and everything else, I saw that. And it was a decision. It was unanimous. He didn't knock him out. Monty fought, like I told him afterwards, he fought a fight that a warrior fights.
Fine. Yeah.
Me,
You know?
me sitting down on the judges seen it different than you.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Well, you're prejudiced.
I don't necessarily
You're a
think that's
prejudiced
true,
man.
Because, like
I'll
I
say
said,
it again.
I honestly, I mean, I could go into this for hours and hours and hours.
No, but
just
I
in
bring it up.
general. But I do agree with you that there is a winner and there is a loser. I've been in this type of industry for years and years and years, and I've won a lot of things and I've lost a lot of things.
Sure.
So I understand that, but whenever you actually size it up matter to matter, is that I really, really did think it was a really good fight. And I really thought that had there not maybe been so much blood, we might have seen a different outcome.
Well, that's the beauty of boxing. Like when somebody gets cut and certain guys are elbowing and headbutting the whole time, then other guys are tearing up their face and punching them in the face exclusively. There's a difference.
I agree.
And to me, I never let facts get in the way of opinions on Pittsburgh Sports Line.
I totally agree,
and
but I
that's
think
part
we
of
can
it.
conclude on one decision, though. I think we would all agree that we would all love to see a rematch.
No,
I
No,
would.
we wouldn't.
I would.
Here's why I wouldn't.
I would.
I would rather see like an expert like Dan Jay said he should go down to 126. If he goes to 126 pounds, he'll be unstoppable. He would definitely be unstoppable. Hey, in the
brother gotta
background,
give
you'll
up all
get
that
your
sweet
time.
potato pie. No way.
You'll get your time.
I mean, I hear,
But I
hear
think-
that. I just personally, I always like to see stuff like that because they're both from the hometown and they did pull a good crowd.
Yeah,
So in that aspect,
that's
that's
true.
why I'm saying a
That's
rematch.
true. Good point.
Not as far as, I mean, I would love to see more of the fighting between them. Don't get me wrong, I love boxing. But as far as the draw out from the crowd, you get so much support in that type of fight that you can't put it
Well,
past that.
I have to disagree with you. Here's what I'd like to see. Everybody from Pittsburgh fight somebody from out of town.
I can
And
agree
then
with
that way, the same emotion that you have, I can be with you 100%.
Instead
Of having to argue. I'd rather not argue with you, but to me, my heart's not in it, but I like what the guys do and I respect what they
Yes.
do. I can't do it. I can just report on it. I can have them on here and support them, just like we do. But when you have an emotional thing, just like I can't bet the Steelers,
Oh, definitely not. Yeah.
because I'd be like Smoking Jim. I'd go through 4 houses every year, and then I'd win another house at the end, so at least I could live in a house.
Yeah.
But that's my point to it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
trying to be
definitely
more
hard.
realistic.
Non-emotional, yeah. And I think that's one of the things that it comes back to as far as being a woman is like I'm still learning the sport in general. So I still have to take it from everybody's
But
perspective.
you're seeing the
to learn it.
brutality
I'm seeing the
right up
brutality
front.
of it right up front. But as far as the judging and the scoring go, you know, we're still breaking it down. We don't catch everything like you guys do. So we're just like seeing the big moments. You know, we're not catching all the little ones.
Well, here, we
My
catch
door
it
is
all.
my
Wait.
door is always
Well,
open for tutoring.
No. He already has your photos in his shrine in his room. He had 1 room. He's now up to 2 rooms with
I think
photos.
you'll need that. Yeah.
And so I don't know if you should go for any tutoring there because he can break down a fight. And here's what's odd about Smoking Jim. When he doesn't know the guys, he'll tell me exactly what they're doing, how they won or lost. But when they're friends with his, I don't know what gets in his way. He doesn't even have rose-colored glasses. He has no glasses. He's a blind man.
I think that can be true for everybody to an extent.
I don't know about that. You got to face reality. How about you go out there and you're getting beat up? You got beat up. Was it close? Yes. It was close. And did you fight the hardest you could? Yes.
And you still,
In your heart, though, would you have thought you won? Now, maybe
he did.
That's my point.
That's a whole nother ball game. But everything that I've done, there have been so many things that I've lost. I went on a national reality TV show in Mexico, and I did not win. But the thing of the matter is,
Were
I
you
still
fighting
came
Mexicans
out.
down there?
No, but I was fighting against
Well,
14
this was
other
different in
girls.
Pittsburgh.
You know what I mean? So that in itself, I won. You know, I got to go against 17,000 girls that auditioned, and I got to go on the show. So that, to me, in itself is a win.
And this is what I like to hear because I was saying how you have kids, and when you put them in competition, everybody gives them a trophy nowadays.
That's not true.
Well,
That's definitely not true.
At the YMCA and everything, they give them trophies when they're playing team sports. All the kids get trophies. What are your kids in there?
I've never seen that ever. My
Where do your kids play
My
at?
son is plays t-ball and soccer, and my daughter doesn't play anything yet. She's only 2, so.
What
she doesn't
community
play
is
anything
this?
yet. I'm not gonna say that, but you know,
They
I'm
do it
close,
everywhere.
South Hills
Okay.
area.
We don't want any stalkers getting
Yeah,
you.
no. We
Well,
don't ever
I
say that.
appreciate this lively discussion on sports.
I do too. Yeah, I was
I didn't
actually
know I
thinking
could
it.
pull it out of her.
Oh
But
yeah, I definitely have a lot of sports inside, especially around different topics. So it just comes out every once in a while.
Well, I'm glad it did. Sindel, it's a pleasure. We're going to have you back.
I'll be here.
We got Z time.
He thinks I'm gonna spare him. I like your tactic. You got lipstick on your cheeks, Z-Time. And it ain't from Sindel Barnes.
Hold it. Zach Brenner.
Thank God. Hey, sweetheart, please stick to the ring card, girl. Please. We thank God you're not a judge of the boxing, because God only knows what would have happened on Saturday night if you were a judge. But
while he's talking,
let's get that.
What's on your mind besides what Sindel fired you up about?
Well, you know,
You're
anytime
fired
there's a
up.
big local fight, and there's been a lot of big local fights over the years. You know, Rod Salka outboxed Monty Meza Clay in every aspect of that fight, and the only chance Monty had was to headbutt and do a couple things, but it didn't go his way. And hey, you know what? I like Sindel a lot because she's obviously with Iron Mike Productions. She's a ring card girl for Iron Mike Productions, and you know, stick with Iron Mike Productions, you know. But your guy lost twice to Lightning Rod Salka. You know, Collado got dropped in God's Country. I only said that one time, God's Country, in Monroeville. And Monty lost. So right now we're 2-0 against Iron Mike Productions. So we want to keep
one
fighting.
thing to interrupt you is, after the fight, one of the key things that I saw after the Salka Monty Meza Clay fight,
Tyson went over to Rod first?
Mike Tyson went over to Rod, and he was talking to him for over 5 minutes because I watched it. So, and they go way back. Matter of fact, I talked to him before the fight, and I said, "Hey, what's with this Lightning Rod stuff?" And he said, "That's a triple X rated star." So that's how much he likes Rod.
Well, now that the guy left or whatever, let's give a shout out to the Boilermakers 154. Al Levine, there's some kind of spaghetti dinner coming up at the location to be determined.
And that's why we do public announcements. We'll do some later on. When you give us a flyer, you got carte blanche. I'll explain that after the show, but you can do whatever you want with the flyer.
Hey, Jim Frazier doesn't know what that means either, so we both could get up to speed on that.
I'll bring you up to speed, no problem. You're on a roll. I don't know what happened to you today, but it seems like you were injured, and now you're coming back strong.
I did
you
get
just
injured
woke
in
up.
football practice by the 4th-string running back, Jim Frazier. How many coaches you know that you challenge me? I'll suit up and I'll get out there. And the 4th-string running back got pushed into me from behind, playing with me. But we'll be all right. Pittsburgh Gladiators.
Well, you know what? Sean back there is one of the best running backs in the state of Pennsylvania. He's from D.C. You got to sign him up. This is a coach of a great semi-pro football team. Big hand for Sean.
The assistant head coach of the Gladiators.
He's about to be a gladiator. Hey, Sindel, you want to be a cheerleader? I know. I love you,
you won't
too.
pay. You won't pay.
Hey, I pay more than Jim Frazier.
Not for cheerleaders. That team's on a tight budget. I can't wait to see the schedule.
You got me there, Levine. You got me there. We are
Sorry,
on a tight budget.
I'm going to let that go right now.
We are on a tight budget. But I hope to see everybody on Wednesday at the Isoplex at South Point. We got Pinnacle going down, cage fights the night before Thanksgiving, so I'm really excited about that.
Our media passes are on their way. Got that confirmed. We'll be there.
No, I won't be there in case he's wondering. I was asked, but I'll be out of town.
Woo! Don't worry, I'll fill in for you, girl. I'll fill in for you. I'm
No,
not
you
shy.
can't. No, boo. You can't fill in.
No. Not as
Maybe
not
as a judge.
Yeah, as an official in boxing. No, I mean her presence.
I wouldn't want to see him in that outfit. Oh man. Hold it, I think I got sick. One of those fries come up. Wait a second. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
I understand.
Way to go, Levine.
Way to go.
You're the one that started this. You're awfully feisty tonight, more than normal. I'm trying to deflect it so you don't dive into Smoking Jim.
Tuesday night is for that. Tune in on Tuesday nights on, what is that, Comcast 7 and Verizon 32.
Only Comcast 7 in Bethel Park.
Only.
Verizon 32 everywhere in the viewing area.
Pittsburgh Sportsline. Let's give a shout out to Sean Eisler, another world-class photographer, official photographer at Pittsburgh Sportsline. He might be in the back, but he's not.
We're getting exclusive photography for Pittsburgh Sportsline right now as I am speaking.
I gotta give a shout out to the best bartender here at Duke's, Kelly. She gave me this kiss on my cheek with the red lipstick. I mean, I can never deny that, you know. Who's not a fan of that, Smoking Jim? It won't show up as well on your complexion as it does on mine.
Oh, yes, it will.
That's neither here nor there, brother.
Where's she at? Oh, she left.
How about those Clareton Bears, Smoking Jim Frazier? Can we get a shout out to
intramural football, Class A football, intramural.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
They look good. I was at the game. They look good.
They did.
He had free food. That's why he was at the game.
I noticed anytime there's free food, man, you got a good chance of getting Levine or Jim Frazier in the building.
Oh, man, where's the... Oh, there ain't no fries.
Half the shots that Sean Osler took tonight got Smoking Jim Frazier eating those French fries. The way Jim Frazier ate those French fries tonight, you'd think he didn't eat all day. He was looking forward to getting those fries tonight.
He didn't eat all day. He was traveling. He's a traveling man. He might have been doing one of his 19 shows that we don't know about.
I'm still waiting to see him.
They're out there. The one with Jody's on TV again.
No, I see that. No, that's good work. I like that show.
First and 10 with Smoking Jim.
Slick moving guy.
Yeah,
you know,
that's another good book.
She's
Look,
a class act.
I got another book to read. It's nice.
That one's smaller than the other one. I'll take you.
You know, I'll be done tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
China gunpowder, loose leaf green tea, man. He'll be into it. Smoking Jim. He'll have you a report by tomorrow on it.
I might do that.
But like I said, the last thing that's on my mind is the Steelers. I often feel lost in a bye week. It's rare that a bye week, as you could allude to, Smoking Jim, has been this late in the season. It's been a long time since we had a bye week in week 12 of the NFL schedule, but it couldn't come at a better time because one of Smoking Jim's favorite prospects, Too Slow Jarvis Jones, is working his way back. Take it easy, Sindo. Elvis has just left the building. But we're getting healthy at the right time for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Stone Hands Ike Taylor is out there trying to knock passes down with a brick strapped to his hand. So I look for the defense to pick back up. Shazier, one of Smoking Jim's picks, is coming back. But how about that catch last night by Beckham for the Giants? And we could have had him.
It wasn't one of the top 10 I've ever seen.
Chris Collinsworth said it was the greatest catch he ever seen.
Here's what I thought was odd. When they used to have Stickum on their hands, they could do this. How do you do this with a glove?
Is that what he did?
The man got past
You didn't see it.
How don't you see it?
All I seen was he backpedaled, and I put him on the bench and made him a D-back.
He had heavy money on Tony Romo. He had heavy money on Tony Romo last night. That's why he's upset.
Did he?
That's the real reason why he's upset.
You know what? I saw that where somewhere in the betting lines all over the country, whenever Smoking Jim drops heavy money.
Here's the greatest catch I ever seen in my life, and it'll never be broken. When Lynn Swan was running up the sideline, jumped out of bounds, hang time, came back in bounds, caught the ball, and got both feet in bounds. That's the greatest catch I ever seen in my life. Not that back pedal falling down, lucky one-handed snatch. Get out of here.
You didn't even see that catch.
Look good to me. You didn't even see the catch.
He didn't see the catch. I posted it on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook because I know he'd go, I didn't see it.
Come on, Smoking Jim. Will you please come to Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook and check it out? Hit the like button. We can get a new all-time high right now.
Eli Manning was trying his best to throw another interception.
Yeah, he was. Oh, we're agreeing. I watched the game for a while till I got sick of it. So. And he come back. Because what time of year is it? It's time of year for the Giants to come back.
Yeah, the G-men come back and the Cowboys disappear. But, Tony Romo standing in there strong at the, much to the chagrin of Jerry Jones. But you know what else I'm impressed with the Cowboys?
When we going to see Steel Valley at the NFL field.
You know what? Save this for the Sandbox on Tuesday nights. We're not going to let them do it. We're running out of time. But I wanted to put this up on the air because we're going to be traveling on December 1st, and you can see like Smoking Jim and the Talking Machine and Zach Brenner. We're honored to be going to Atria's at PNC Park. Like the Facebook event page, tell us you're coming there. It'll be at 7:30, not 7 o'clock, and it's 7:30 to 8:30. And for all the people that are much smarter than me, every Tuesday night through Saturday at 7 o'clock to 8 on Verizon 32 everywhere and Comcast 7. That's our regular setup. This will be a live show that we tape, and they even created a burger, because you know how I like to eat. It's called the Talking Machine Big Mouth Burger.
Big Mouth Burger, I like that.
And I didn't think of it, of course. I'd have just called it the Talking Machine Burger. But if you can't eat the 9 different things that I put on there because you're too picky and too sensitive, that's okay. I understand. You can build your own burger and still eat the Talking Machine Big Mouth Burger.
All right.
So thanks to Atria's.
Real quick as we wind down, let's wish a happy birthday to Vito Filo. He's a huge fan of the Pittsburgh Sportsline show.
And thanks for saying I should be on ESPN, Vito. And shout out to my barber from years ago, Jerry Vitale, and his son. They were here and confirmed that I was shy as a young man. Now we're going to end the show. Thanks everybody for watching. We had a great crowd here, great guests. Check out this show tomorrow night, Verizon 32, Comcast 7. And you can always see all our shows on Pittsburgh Sportsline, Smoking Jim.
On Facebook.
On Facebook, and they're all archived on YouTube, all 260-some shows. Even our boxing matches. You can see those too. Drive safely. See you next week.
Hello, my name is Greg Stewart. I have been a train collector and train operator for approximately 40 years, and we started a project approximately 5 years ago. The project involves collecting trains of all types, train platforms, race car sets, anything that we can use basically. We put the sets together, we assemble the sets, clean them, make sure they operate, put them in boxes that look like brand new train sets. We include an instruction sheet, and we give those train sets to children at Christmas time. We are requesting anyone that has trains of any type, from HO to large-scale trains, road race sets, train platforms of any type. We can take that, we can clean it, fix it, make it look like brand new, and we give those again to children at Christmas time. That one spark that starts a relationship with this hobby will last your lifetime. And myself and Bob are proof of that. Again, I've been doing this for approximately 40 years, and we are looking forward to a prosperous Christmas and to give out as many train sets as possible. To contact me, I can be reached at, my cell phone number is 412-526-3427. My email address is gestewart@comcast.net. And then also, Bob Evans can be reached through the Ambridge Train Club, which is located in Ambridge, Pennsylvania. Their email address also. In addition, the Ambridge Train Club at Christmas time does a beautiful train display from Thanksgiving through January that they invite the public to come. They also give train sets during the day randomly to children that do come into the train club. So please either contact me again, Greg Stewart, or Bob Evans, and I can be reached at 412-526-3427 or gestewart@comcast.net. Thank you. Merry Christmas.